Have you guys seen this? They are so afraid no one's going to show up to their protest that they are offering 1 million people $250 to show up at the pro-Israeli protest. Now you may be wondering to yourself, where would they get $250 per person, and how much is that, Well, I'll tell you, that's $250 million. You're like, wow, where would they get $250 million to give these people? Well, silly Billy, it's from the 14 billion with a B, dollars that Daddy USA gave Israel to spend freely, however they want. So 250 million is nothing. So 250 million taken away from 14 billion leaves them with $13,750,000 to bomb the rest of the children and kids and women in Gaza. And you can't forget about paying the influencers for the.
So today was the March for Israel rally, which I'm assuming was outside the White House in D.C., as to which the account Israel New York says 290,000 people attended. My question is, to who does that look like 290,000 people? Oh, should also mention that they were offering $250 for college students to attend the rally. Oh, yep, saw this as well. Let Israel finish the job. What exactly do we think that means? See, so in comparison, this little snapshot from the pro-Palestine rally in D.C. that had over 300,000 protesters there. With signs like this, "We are the grandchildren of 1948, we will not be silenced," in reference to the Nakba, when 750,000 Palestinians were expelled from their homes, thousands were killed, hundreds of villages were destroyed. There were also a bunch of signs from Jewish people saying Jews against apartheid. Apartheid is not a Jewish value, ceasefire now. The crowd was also incredibly diverse, as we see Filipinos for Palestine, Black DC boys for brown Gaza children. And we also saw Muslims and Jews marching together. So one march is calling for liberation and to stop the killing of Palestinian children in Gaza and to stop U.S. funding because we give Israel billions of dollars every year to commit ethnic cleansing and land theft. The other march is saying many of those children are Hamas in training. And before anyone comes at me for saying it doesn't say children, half of Gaza's population is children. What do you think they mean by Hamas in training? Every day it becomes more and more abundantly clear who the oppressed and who the oppressor is. I'll give you a hint, Israel's the oppressor.
So on the 14th, this month, there's going to be a pro-Israel rally in Washington, D.C. The rally is sponsored by the Jewish Federations of North America and the Conference of Presidents of American Jewish Organizations. Fucking mouthful. Anyway, to ensure the biggest turnout for this rally, other pro-Israeli organizations are offering college students money to go. $250. They'll also get reimbursed for their travel expenses. You have to bribe groups of broke college kids to come support your cause. Maybe your cause is bullshit.
This sounds crazy, but yesterday there was a big pro-Israel rally in Washington, D.C., and a lot of the people attending were paid to be there. This Zionist organization in America called the ICC was offering college students $250 plus all expenses paid to go to D.C. and participate in the rally. It was a part of their micro-grants program. This organization's only goal in the United States is to foster pro-Israel support from Americans. This aligns perfectly with all the Zionist organizations sponsoring creators like me to show support for Israel, because they want to make it seem like everybody supports their genocide of the Palestinians. Zionists want to control the narrative, and they were able to control it in the past, but they can't any longer because TikTok exists. TikTok is free speech. You don't hear this side on any other platform. Even the president of the ADL says that the reason that so many people support Palestinians and care about Palestinians is because of TikTok. And he says TikTok and Gen Z is a big problem for Israel. Thank you for listening, and remember, free Palestine.
Guys, the level of second-hand embarrassment that I got after reading this. I think the pro-Palestinian rallies and protests are driving the Zionists crazy because they are now willing to pay $250 per person, and if you need travel expenses, we'll cover that too. Just apply here. This is so embarrassing, honestly. If I was a Zion Nazi myself, I would definitely be switching sides, especially after reading this. It just shows how no one wants to be there.
There are so many social media influencers that have exposed Israel's bribes that it made the news. What Israel has been doing is sending you a cute little email offering you money to show support for Israel. But it seems that everybody posting the emails get their video taken down. So I'm not going to post it on here, I'll have it on my other platforms. But not only do you have to show support for Israel, they ask you to remove any videos that support Palestine. And also in these emails, they ask you if you can do a live stream speaking on the subject as well. Now, I'm such a genius, I went on TikTok Live and said the complete polar opposite and got banned permanently. But what I'm really confused about is the fact that they offered bro only $5,000 to do this. Like, somebody told me that you guys were supposed to be good with money. Now, this whole situation makes me think a little bit, how many people actually took the bribe? And did they really just stop at influencers? I'm really confused about this. Like, maybe they started paying, bigger celebrities to do the same thing. And a bunch of people came at me saying I was a liar, that I made this situation up. Now, if I made this up, why are there so many other influencers saying the exact same thing, getting the exact same email? Now, it's really interesting to see how people react when they realize that not everyone's morality is for sale.
Did you know Israel pays people to write pro-Israel comments? During the 2008 Gaza war, we turned to Jewish communities abroad and recruited several thousand volunteers. That's Ilan Stulman, then Deputy Director of Information at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, from an interview with the Israeli Colonist about a new professional team of comment writers who will flood websites around the world with pro-Israeli messages, and who will participate in discussions about Israel on blogs around the world, and on websites such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Twitter in particular would receive round-the-clock activity. In a pattern that would be repeated in the future, the ministry would recruit educated young people who speak foreign languages. Our people won't say, "Hello, I'm from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs," nor will they necessarily identify themselves as Israelis. They will speak as citizens and write responses that will appear personal, but will be based on a pre-prepared list of messages compiled by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. To find out more, I'm GDF on YouTube.